Poor girl asks a billionaire to spend Christmas together, and what he does stuns everyone. The room smelled faintly of old wood and dust, and the walls were painted in a dull, faded yellow that had chipped in many places. She sighed, taking a deep breath, trying to hide the exhaustion and worry from Lily, who was sitting quietly on the small bed, hugging her worn-out teddy bear. The little girl looked up at her mother with wide, innocent eyes and asked, "Mom, are we going to be okay?" Maria forced a smile, brushing a strand of Lily's hair behind her ear. "Yes, sweetheart," she said softly. "Everything will be okay." "Don't worry." But deep inside, Maria wasn't so sure. Life had not been kind to Maria. She had lost her husband years ago, and ever since, she had worked tirelessly to provide for Lily. She had 2 jobs, cleaning offices during the day and working at a small cafe in the evenings. Every day was a struggle, balancing work, bills, and the never-ending list of things she had to take care of. She barely had time to eat properly, let alone rest, and yet, despite her exhaustion, she pushed herself every day for the sake of her daughter. That evening, the landlord had knocked on their door with a grim expression. "Maria," he said, his voice curt and impatient, "I'm afraid if the rent isn't paid by the end of the week, you'll have to leave. I'm sorry, but I can't wait any longer." Maria's heart sank. She had tried everything, working overtime, borrowing from friends, even selling some of her old belongings, but the rent was still far beyond her reach. Her hands trembled slightly as she nodded. "I understand," she whispered. The landlord gave her a stern look and left. The sound of the door closing behind him echoed in the small apartment like a heavy drumbeat, reminding her that time was running out. Lily watched her mother, sensing the tension. "Mom, what does evicted mean?" she asked, her voice small and uncertain. Maria knelt down beside her daughter, holding her tiny hands in her own. "It means we might have to leave our home for a little while," she explained gently. Lily's face fell, and she buried her head in her mother's shoulder. Maria hugged her tightly, trying to hold back her own tears. She didn't want Lily to see how scared she truly was. The thought of not having a home, even for a short time, made Maria feel helpless, but she knew she had to stay strong for her daughter. That night, Maria couldn't sleep. She sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the faded walls, thinking about all the ways she could find the money. She thought about asking her family for help, but they were struggling too. She thought about going to a shelter, but the thought of crowded rooms and unfamiliar people made her stomach churn. She thought about asking her friends, but pride and fear held her back. She felt trapped, like there was no way out. The next morning, Maria woke early, before the sun had even risen. She got dressed in her worn but clean clothes, brushed Lily's hair, and packed a small bag with the few belongings they owned. They left the apartment quietly, hoping the landlord wouldn't notice them leaving. They didn't have anywhere to go yet, but Maria hoped that by being out and moving, she could figure something out. As they walked through the empty streets, Lily held her mother's hand tightly. Maria felt a surge of determination. No matter how hard life got, she promised herself she would protect Lily no matter what. They spent the day wandering through the city, looking for places that could offer help. Maria visited several offices, asking if there were any jobs available, any work that could help her earn the rent money. Some people shook their heads, some offered sympathy but no help. It was a long, discouraging day, and Maria felt her energy fading. She could see the worry in Lily's eyes, and it hurt her more than anything. She wanted to make everything better, but it seemed like the world was against them. By evening, they found a small park with a bench under a streetlight. Maria sat down, exhausted, and Lily sat beside her. They shared a small snack Maria had brought, and for a moment they just watched the people walking by. Families, friends, couples, everyone seemed to have somewhere to go, someone to care for them. Maria felt a pang of loneliness. She wondered if they would ever have that, if Lily would grow up feeling safe and happy like other children. As the night grew colder, Maria wrapped her coat tightly around Lily and herself. They had no home, no warm bed, and no certainty about the future. But in that moment, Maria made a silent promise. She would do whatever it took to keep Lily safe and happy. She would work harder, fight harder, and never give up. No matter how hopeless things seemed, she would find a way. The following days were a blur of struggle. Maria continued working at both jobs, often skipping meals to save money. She searched for temporary shelters, talked to social workers, and asked anyone who might help. Each day brought new challenges, new disappointments, and new fears. But through it all, Maria remained a pillar of strength for Lily. She told stories, played games, and laughed whenever she could, masking the fear that gnawed at her heart. Lily, for her part, tried to stay cheerful. She didn't fully understand why their life had changed so suddenly, but she could feel her mother's anxiety. She clung to Maria, offering hugs and small words of encouragement. "We'll be okay, Mom," she would say, and Maria would smile, holding back tears. The love between mother and daughter was their only comfort, their only source of hope in a world that seemed determined to crush them. One afternoon, Maria found herself outside the small cafe where she worked evenings. She looked at the busy street, the cars rushing by, the people going about their lives, and felt a wave of despair. She wondered if anyone truly noticed people like her, people who struggled in silence, people who fought every day just to survive. She thought about Lily, sleeping in shelters, missing the warmth and comfort of a real home. She thought about the eviction notice, the looming threat of being on the street permanently. And yet, despite the fear, Maria's determination did not waver. She refused to give up. Even as she faced the harsh reality of life, Maria found small moments of beauty. She watched Lily's laughter as they played with a stray kitten they found near the park. She admired the kindness of strangers who offered a warm meal or a small coin for food. She found strength in the quiet moments of connection, in the small victories, and in the unbreakable bond between herself and her daughter. Maria's story, though filled with struggle, was also filled with resilience. Every day she faced the challenges of poverty and uncertainty, yet she continued to fight, to love, and to hope. Her life was not easy, but it was hers to shape. And as she held Lily close that night, sitting on the park bench under the cold glow of the streetlight, Maria knew that no matter how difficult the journey ahead might be, she would face it with courage. She would not let fear or despair define their lives. She would find a way, one step at a time, because love and hope were stronger than any hardship. The days following their eviction were some of the hardest Maria had ever faced. The city that had always seemed full of possibilities now felt cold and unwelcoming. The small shelter she managed to find was crowded and noisy, filled with people who were also struggling to survive. The smell of the place was a mixture of antiseptic, sweat, and old blankets. Maria held Lily close, trying to shield her from the discomfort and uncertainty, but she knew the little girl could sense the difference from the home they had lost. Despite the difficult circumstances, Maria refused to let despair take over. Each morning, she woke before sunrise, trying to find work or ways to earn money. She took on odd jobs, cleaning offices, delivering groceries, even washing cars on the street for a few coins. It was exhausting work, and many days she barely had time to eat. Yet she persisted, motivated by the thought of keeping Lily safe and giving her some sense of normalcy. Lily, though young, was incredibly resilient. She would wake each morning with a small smile, as if she were determined to keep her mother's spirits up. "We'll be okay, Mom," she said, repeating the words she had learned to say when she saw worry in Maria's eyes. Maria would smile back, hiding the knot of fear that had formed in her stomach. It was a delicate dance, pretending to be strong for Lily while struggling to hold herself together. At the shelter, Maria met other mothers and families who were facing similar challenges. Some had been there for weeks, others, like her, were new arrivals. They shared stories, advice, and sometimes small acts of kindness, like offering extra blankets or a warm meal. These moments reminded Maria that even in the hardest times, there was still goodness in the world, but the challenges were relentless. The shelter was crowded, and privacy was almost non-existent. Sleeping in a noisy, shared room made it hard for Lily to rest, and Maria constantly worried about her safety. Food was another constant worry. The meals at the shelter were basic, often not enough for both her and Lily. Maria would sometimes skip her own portion so Lily could eat more. Watching her daughter's small face light up when she got even a modest meal was a mix of joy and sorrow. Maria longed to give Lily more, fresh fruit, warm bread, treats she remembered buying when times were better, but those luxuries were out of reach. Every day was a battle to make ends meet, to stretch each coin and resource as far as possible. Evenings were the hardest. The shelter could feel lonely despite being crowded. Maria often found a quiet corner and held Lily close as they whispered stories to each other. She told tales of magical lands, heroic adventures, and happy endings, hoping to bring a sense of wonder and safety into Lily's life. Sometimes, when the stories were over, they would sit in silence, listening to the sounds of the city outside. The distant hum of traffic, the occasional shout, the cold wind brushing against the building. It was a reminder that life went on, even when they felt stuck and invisible. Maria also tried to keep a routine for Lily despite their uncertain situation. She made sure her daughter attended school whenever possible, even if it meant walking long distances or finding temporary arrangements to get there. Teachers noticed the resilience in Lily and quietly offered extra help and support. Maria appreciated it deeply, but still felt the shame of not being able to provide what other children took for granted: homework space, supplies, and a consistent, safe home. She often wondered if Lily would remember these struggles or if they would shape her life in ways she could not yet imagine. One day, while searching for work opportunities, Maria encountered a kind woman who ran a small community center. The woman noticed Maria's determination and invited her to volunteer, offering a small stipend to cover basic needs. Though it wasn't much, Maria gratefully accepted. She worked tirelessly, organizing events, cleaning, and helping children with homework. It was exhausting but rewarding work, and it allowed her to see a glimpse of hope amid the difficulties. At night, when the shelter lights dimmed and the world outside grew quiet, Maria often reflected on her life. She thought about the past, her husband, the early years of joy and hope, and the gradual struggles that had led to this moment. She thought about the future and wondered how many more obstacles lay ahead. But then she would look at Lily asleep beside her and remind herself that she was stronger than any hardship. Love, she realized, could carry them further than money, comfort, or security ever could. Despite her resilience, fear was never far from Maria's mind. Every knock on the shelter door, every raised voice in the halls made her heart race. She worried about theft, illness, and accidents. She worried about Lily being exposed to the harsh realities of life too soon. She worried about the day when their situation might worsen, when even the shelter could no longer protect them. And yet, Maria did not allow herself to succumb to despair. Each day she woke with determination, each step she took was an act of courage, each small victory a testament to her strength. Sometimes the stress and fatigue became overwhelming. Maria would sit on the park bench nearby, letting the evening breeze cool her tired face. She would watch children playing, couples walking hand in hand, and families laughing together. There was a pang of envy, yes, but also a quiet hope. She reminded herself that her life could change, that help might come in unexpected ways, that their story was not over. The bond between her and Lily was unbreakable, and as long as they had each other, they had a reason to keep fighting. Maria also learned to notice small moments of beauty in their difficult life. The way Lily's laughter echoed through the shelter hallway, the kindness of strangers who offered food or words of encouragement, the warm glow of streetlights on a rainy night. These moments reminded her that life was still worth living, even in hardship. Every day was a mix of struggle and hope, of exhaustion and determination, of fear and courage. And through it all, Maria held Lily close, knowing that their love and resilience were stronger than any challenge they faced. Weeks passed, and Maria began to see that survival was about more than just money or shelter. It was about maintaining dignity, showing kindness, and holding on to hope. She found joy in small victories: a full day of school for Lily, a job completed successfully, a stranger offering a smile or a kind word. These moments were fleeting but precious, like tiny sparks of light in a long tunnel of darkness. Maria clung to these sparks, using them to fuel her determination to keep going. During one particularly cold night, Maria and Lily huddled together under multiple blankets in the shelter. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, and the noise of other residents made sleep difficult. Lily stirred, shivering slightly. Maria wrapped her arms around her, whispering reassuring words. "It's okay, Lily, I'm here. We're safe tonight. Nothing can hurt us while we're together." Lily nodded sleepily, clutching her mother tightly. In that moment, Maria felt a deep sense of responsibility and love. She knew that no matter how hard life became, she had to protect Lily, to give her hope and security, even when the world seemed harsh and unkind. As the weeks turned into months, Maria's determination never wavered. She continued to search for opportunities, to work tirelessly, and to provide for Lily as best as she could. Each day brought new challenges, but also new lessons in resilience, hope, and perseverance. She realized that strength was not about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with courage, compassion, and love. Maria also began to form connections with others who were struggling. She learned that community and support, even among strangers, could make a difference. People shared advice, food, clothing, and encouragement. Maria discovered that asking for help was not a weakness but a strength, and that even small gestures of kindness could change someone's day, or even their life. Through it all, Maria never lost sight of her ultimate goal: a safe, comfortable home for herself and Lily. She imagined a place where Lily could play freely, go to school without worry, and grow up feeling secure and loved. These dreams fueled her perseverance, giving her the strength to face each new challenge. She refused to give up, knowing that every small step brought them closer to a brighter future. Even in the face of relentless struggle, Maria's love for Lily remained unwavering. She celebrated her daughter's small achievements, comforted her during setbacks, and encouraged her to dream, even when the world seemed unkind. Maria understood that life might never be easy, but love, hope, and determination could carry them through even the darkest times. And so, each day, Maria and Lily continued their journey, walking the streets in search of opportunity, clinging to hope amidst uncertainty, and finding strength in each other. Life had tested them in ways they could never have imagined, but through resilience, courage, and the unbreakable bond between mother and daughter, they faced each challenge together, never giving up and never losing hope. The mornings were colder now, and Maria felt the weight of each day pressing down on her more than ever. She had become skilled at juggling her jobs and finding temporary solutions to survive, but the fear of what tomorrow might bring never left her. Every knock on a door, every sudden sound outside made her heart race. She knew that life could change in an instant, and she had to be ready. Still, she refused to let despair settle in. She had Lily to protect, and that responsibility gave her strength she didn't know she possessed. One chilly morning, Maria decided to try something different. She had seen people selling flowers on the busy streets of the city before, and she wondered if maybe this could help her earn a little extra money. She borrowed a small basket from the community center where she sometimes volunteered and carefully arranged the few flowers she could afford to buy. Holding the basket in her hands, she walked to a busy street corner, hoping for customers, hoping for luck. Lily walked beside her, holding her mother's hand tightly. The little girl looked up at Maria with wide eyes, her face filled with both curiosity and concern. "Do you think anyone will buy our flowers, Mom?" she asked softly. Maria smiled, kneeling down to meet her daughter's gaze. "I hope so, sweetheart, but even if they don't, we'll try our best. That's all we can do." Lily nodded, seeming to understand that their efforts mattered no matter the outcome. The day started slowly. People passed by without noticing them. Some glanced at the flowers, smiled politely, but kept walking. Maria felt the familiar pang of disappointment and fear creeping in. She had tried so many things already, and nothing had seemed to work. She wondered if this too would fail, if she and Lily would be forced to face yet another night without a proper home, without comfort, without hope. Just as she was beginning to feel defeated, a sleek black car pulled over nearby. A man stepped out wearing a tailored suit that gleamed in the sunlight. He had a calm, confident presence and an air of authority that made Maria instinctively straighten her back. The man approached Maria and Lily, smiling warmly. "Good morning," he said kindly. "Those are beautiful flowers you have." Maria's heart skipped a beat. She nodded politely, unsure how to respond. "Thank you, sir," she said quietly, keeping her voice steady. Lily clutched her mother's hand nervously, sensing that this encounter was different from any they had experienced before. "My name is Mr. Harrison," the man continued. "I was walking by and noticed you working so hard. Can I ask about your story?" Maria hesitated. Pride and fear tugged at her, but something about Mr. Harrison's kind demeanor made her feel safe enough to speak. She took a deep breath and began to explain, her voice trembling slightly at first but growing steadier as she spoke. She told him about the eviction, the struggles of finding work, the long nights in the shelter, and her determination to keep Lily safe no matter what. Mr. Harrison listened intently, nodding occasionally. He didn't interrupt or offer empty platitudes. He simply listened, giving Maria a chance to pour out the worries and fears that had weighed on her for so long. When she finished, she felt an unusual sense of relief. It was as though a heavy burden had been lifted, even if only for a moment. "You are an incredible mother," Mr. Harrison said after a pause. "I can see how much you love your daughter and how hard you work for her." That kind of determination and courage is rare. Maria blinked back tears, not used to hearing such genuine praise. "Thank you, sir," she whispered. I just want to give her a good life." Mr. Harrison smiled gently. "I believe you can. And I want to help you not just for today, but in a way that can change your life. But I want to do it your way, not by giving you a handout. I want to help you build a future." Maria's mind raced. Could this really be happening? She had dreamed of help, yes, but never had she imagined someone so wealthy and influential would take notice of her struggle and care enough to intervene. Over the next few days, Mr. Harrison kept in touch. He asked Maria about her skills, her ambitions, and the kind of life she wanted for Lily. He discussed opportunities for work, education, and housing. Maria was careful not to get her hopes up, but a tiny spark of excitement began to grow inside her. For the first time in months, she felt that perhaps things could actually get better. Finally, Mr. Harrison invited Maria and Lily to meet him in person at his office. The building was massive, gleaming with glass and steel, and Maria felt a mix of awe and nervousness as they stepped inside. She held Lily's hand tightly, feeling the little girl's curiosity and wonder. Mr. Harrison greeted them warmly, offering them comfortable seats and tea. He explained that he had decided to provide Maria with a stable home, fund her education, and even help her start a small business that could support her and Lily for the long term. Maria could hardly believe what she was hearing. Tears filled her eyes as she tried to speak, her voice choked with emotion. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I can't believe this is real." Mr. Harrison smiled kindly. "It is real, Maria. You have worked hard, faced challenges bravely, and shown love and determination beyond measure. You deserve a chance to build a better life, and I want to give you that chance." The days that followed were filled with a whirlwind of changes. Maria and Lily moved into a safe, comfortable home, with warm rooms, soft beds, and a kitchen stocked with fresh food. For the first time in months, Maria felt a sense of relief and security. She watched Lily run through the house with joy, laughing and exploring, and her heart swelled with happiness. It was a moment she had dreamed about for years but never imagined could come true. Maria also began classes to improve her skills, learning how to manage a small business and improve her opportunities for the future. Mr. Harrison provided guidance and mentorship, encouraging her every step of the way. He emphasized that this was not charity but an investment in her determination and potential. Maria worked hard, applying everything she learned, motivated by the desire to provide a stable and happy life for Lily. Lily, too, flourished in her new environment. She could focus on school without fear or worry, make new friends, and explore her interests freely. The little girl's laughter filled the house, a sound Maria had almost forgotten in the months of struggle and uncertainty. Seeing Lily happy and thriving was more rewarding than anything money could buy. It reminded Maria why she had endured so much and why she had never given up. As weeks turned into months, Maria and Lily adjusted to their new life. The warmth, safety, and opportunities they now had allowed them to heal from the hardships they had endured. Maria never forgot the shelter nights, the cold streets, and the fear she had faced, but those memories were now tempered with hope and gratitude. She realized that life could change in unexpected ways, and that sometimes help could come when it was needed most. Throughout it all, Maria never lost her humility or compassion. She continued to volunteer at the community center, helping others who were struggling, offering advice, comfort, and support. She wanted to ensure that the kindness shown to her was passed on to others, that her experience of struggle and eventual help could inspire and assist people facing similar hardships. One evening, as Maria tucked Lily into bed, she whispered softly, "See, sweetheart. Things can get better. Even when life is hard, there are people who care and things can change." Lily smiled, hugging her mother tightly. "I knew it would get better, Mom. I always knew you'd find a way." Maria kissed her daughter's forehead, tears of happiness streaming down her face. In that moment, she realized that hope, courage, and love were the most powerful forces of all. Maria's life had taken a dramatic turn, all because she had refused to give up, because she had worked tirelessly, and because she had shown unwavering love for her daughter. Mr. Harrison's intervention was a reminder that sometimes unexpected kindness could transform lives. But Maria also knew that her own determination and resilience had played a crucial role. She had faced fear, poverty, and uncertainty, and had never given up. Now she could finally see a future where she and Lily could thrive. The story of Maria and Lily serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope can emerge, that a single act of kindness can change the course of someone's life, and that love, courage, and determination can overcome challenges that seem insurmountable. Their journey was far from over, but for the first time in a long while, Maria felt that they had the strength, opportunity, and support to face whatever the future might bring. Life for Maria and Lily had changed in ways they could have never imagined. After months of struggle, fear, and uncertainty, they now had a stable home, a sense of security and hope for the future. Their small apartment, once cold and empty, was now filled with warmth, laughter, and light. Maria had never known a feeling like this before. Relief, gratitude, and joy mixed together, creating a sense of peace she had longed for during the hardest months of her life. Every morning, Maria woke early, but this time, it was not out of fear or obligation alone. She woke with a sense of purpose and excitement. She prepared breakfast for Lily, helping her get ready for school, and together they shared small moments of conversation and laughter. The routines they had struggled to maintain in the shelter now had meaning and comfort. Maria could see that Lily was thriving, attending school regularly, making friends, and enjoying activities she had been denied before. Maria also focused on her own growth, with the support of Mr. Harrison. She had enrolled in classes that taught her how to manage a small business, handle finances, and develop skills that could lead to greater independence. She worked hard, sometimes late into the evening, but it was a different kind of work, one filled with hope, learning, and opportunity rather than survival. Every small lesson she mastered made her feel empowered. She realized that the struggles she had faced had made her stronger, more determined, and more resilient. Lily, full of curiosity and energy, often accompanied her mother to the community center where Maria volunteered. There, Maria taught children, organized activities, and helped families who were struggling, just as she once had been. Watching her mother work with compassion and patience inspired Lily. She saw firsthand the importance of kindness, empathy, and helping others. Lily began to understand that even small actions could make a big difference in someone's life. One day, as Maria and Lily were walking home from school, they passed a group of children playing in the park. Lily ran ahead, joining them with a joyful laugh. Maria watched her daughter with pride, thinking of how far they had come. She remembered the nights spent in shelters, the cold streets, and the constant fear. And now, here they were, safe, happy, and free to dream. Maria smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. Their journey had been difficult, but it had led them to a life filled with hope and possibility. With Mr. Harrison's guidance, Maria also began planning her small business. She had always dreamed of opening a bakery, a place where she could combine her love for cooking with her desire to provide for Lily. She worked tirelessly, learning about business planning, marketing, and customer service. She poured her heart into the project, imagining a future where she could not only support herself and Lily, but also give back to her community. Every step of the process reminded her of how far they had come and how important it was to continue moving forward. As the bakery slowly took shape, Maria found herself reflecting on the people who had helped them along the way. The kindness of strangers, the support of the community center, and Mr. Harrison's intervention had all played crucial roles. She realized that life was not only about struggle or survival, but also about connection, trust, and gratitude. Maria decided that when she could, she would help others facing hardship, passing on the kindness she had received. Lily continued to flourish at school. Her teachers noticed her curiosity, enthusiasm, and eagerness to learn. She joined clubs, participated in activities, and excelled in her studies. Maria often watched her daughter with pride, remembering the nights she had feared Lily would grow up without opportunity or happiness. Now, Lily had a future filled with possibilities, a safe home, and the confidence to dream. Maria knew that these were the gifts she had fought so hard to provide. Evenings in their new home were filled with laughter, storytelling, and small rituals that brought comfort. Maria and Lily would cook together, share meals, and talk about their day. They played games, read books, and sometimes simply sat together, enjoying the warmth of their safe home. For Maria, these moments were priceless. They were a reminder that life, even after hardship, could be beautiful, joyful, and full of love. The bakery finally opened after months of preparation. Maria's hard work, determination, and creativity were evident in every detail, from the carefully crafted pastries to the warm, welcoming atmosphere. The local community responded with excitement, supporting her business and offering encouragement. Maria felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that her efforts were not only helping her family, but also creating a space that brought joy to others. The bakery became a symbol of resilience, hope, and the rewards of perseverance. Mr. Harrison remained a guiding presence in their lives, offering advice and encouragement while allowing Maria to take charge of her own destiny. His mentorship helped her navigate challenges, make informed decisions, and grow both personally and professionally. Maria learned that success was not only about wealth, but about resilience, determination, and the ability to adapt and grow. She felt grateful for his belief in her and inspired to make the most of the opportunities she had been given. As months turned into years, Maria and Lily's lives continued to improve. Their home became a place of comfort, love, and safety. The bakery thrived, providing financial stability and a sense of pride. Maria's confidence grew, and she began to dream of expanding her business, hiring staff, and creating opportunities for others in her community. Lily grew into a confident, compassionate young girl, inspired by her mother's strength and dedication. Maria never forgot the hardships they had faced, the cold nights in the shelter, the fear of the unknown, and the constant struggle to survive. But those experiences had shaped her, giving her the strength, empathy, and determination that now guided her life. She understood that challenges were part of life, but they did not define it. What mattered most was love, perseverance, and the courage to keep moving forward. One sunny afternoon, Maria and Lily visited the park where they had spent so many difficult days. They watched children playing, couples walking hand in hand, and families enjoying the warmth of the sun. Lily ran ahead, laughing and waving to new friends she had made. Maria stood quietly, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. Life had come full circle. From fear and uncertainty, they had arrived at a place of hope, joy, and stability. Maria realized that their story was not just about survival, but about transformation. It was about the power of love, determination, and unexpected kindness. She knew that their journey could inspire others facing hardship, showing them that no matter how difficult life seemed, change was possible. Even in the darkest moments, there could be light, and even the smallest acts of hope could create lasting change. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over their home, Maria held Lily close. "We've come so far, haven't we?" she whispered. Lily nodded, hugging her mother tightly. "Yes, Mom, and we'll keep going. We can do anything together." Maria smiled, tears of joy in her eyes. She knew that the future was bright and full of possibilities. Together they had overcome immense challenges, and together they would continue to thrive. Maria's story serves as a powerful reminder that life can change in unexpected ways. With love, resilience, and the support of those who care, even the most difficult circumstances can transform into opportunities for growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Maria and Lily's journey was a testament to the human spirit, the ability to endure, to hope, and to rise above adversity. And so, their lives continued, filled with laughter, love, and purpose. Maria's bakery became a thriving business, providing stability and pride. Lily grew into a confident, kind, and joyful girl, thriving in school and surrounded by friends. Maria continued to volunteer, mentor, and inspire others, passing on the lessons of resilience and hope she had learned through her own struggles. In the end, Maria understood that life's challenges, though painful, had shaped her into the person she had become. A strong, compassionate, and determined mother who had given her daughter a future filled with hope. And as she watched Lily sleep peacefully at night, Maria knew that everything she had endured had been worth it. Together, they had turned hardship into strength, fear into courage, and uncertainty into a life full of possibility.